Arnold Stoker. He is a writer, and recently his first novel broke all records just weeks into publishing. But Arnold knows this fame isn't because of his writing. It's because it runs in the family. He is the grandson of Bernard Stoker, the reputed novelist, whose work has been a best-selling series for almost a century now. It was almost 30 years ago, Bernard Stoker mysteriously passed away. And as it had to be, various conspiracy theories and rumors spread amongst his fans, keeping his stories alive more than ever. But there was much more to his grandfather that perhaps would always remain a mystery. Arnold has never seen his grandfather. And growing up, from what he has heard from his father, if anything has been clear, it's that they've never had a good relationship. "Dad, look what Reggie gave me. Grandfather wrote it, right?" "Don't read his books." "How about you never took us to meet Grandfather?" "I never took you, or he never had the time for you. In fact, he was never even there for me. He was rarely home. He was never a father. And your grandmother? She didn't care either. She wasn't a mother. She was only his wife. I never had parents, and you might as well say you don't have grandparents." "Mom, what's it with Dad and Grandfather?" "Oh, he's had his grudge. I don't blame him. The man was very strange. Always locked himself up in his room, writing those creepy novels. There was something dark about him. Dad says he was rarely at home. Mom says he locked himself in his room. Which one is it?" "What's your mystery, Grandfather?" Arnold didn't know what it was with the family drama, but he himself has always been a fan. Even though his father told him not to, he has read every single novel of his grandfather over the years. And when he got into college, he decided to follow in his footsteps and write his own novel. But one question has always lingered on his mind. What really happened to Bernard Stoker? How did he die? And what was his side of the story? So Arnold decided he would get to the bottom of the mystery. His parents had moved to America even before he was born. And as far as he knew, his grandparents were living at the family mansion in Spain. After Grandfather's demise, neither did his parents contact his grandmother, nor did she contact anyone. "Coming home, Grandma." "How do I find this address in the middle of nowhere?" Reaching a busy stall, Arnold tried to talk with the owner. "Excuse me, can you help me?" But the man was quite busy. "I don't buy anything from here. These people don't know how to appreciate their customers." "What?" "Name's Marianne. I opened a restaurant recently, buy my supplies from here, but the man is so grumpy." "What about you? You don't look like you're from around here." "I'm actually from America. Would you happen to know how I can get here?" "The creepy man's mansion?" "He used to write strange stories. His widow lives there now. People say all kinds of things about him. You know, personally, I don't even know how he got married to the woman. I wouldn't marry a creep like that. That's my grandpa. What? Grandpa? I mean, he was talented in a way. It's alright. Do you know how to get there? Of course I do. I know all of Española. With Mary Ann's help, Arnold found his way to the mansion. Wow, this place looks like it came out of his novels. Yeah, I gotta go. Arnold watched as Mary Ann murmured a prayer and hurried off. Creaking the large gate open, Arnold walked to the mansion and knocked on the door. A while into knocking, an old woman opened and stared at him. Grandma? The woman looked at him strange. Oh, sorry, you probably don't recognize me. I'm your grandson, Henry's son. I've been waiting for so long. The woman's hand shook as she called Arnold inside. You sit down and get comfortable. I'll go get you a drink and some snacks. Before Arnold could say anything, she brought out a platter of cookies and tea, but as she was to put it down on the table, and the tray toppled over everything. It's okay, I'll clean it. Arnold tried to salvage what he could, and poured her a cup. So you've been living here all by yourself all these years? It gets lonely without your grandfather, but you know how he was even when he was here, always to himself, she said, sipping the tea. As Arnold took a sip of the tea, he nearly coughed it up. It was spoiled. How old is this? How is she drinking that? Arnold was quick to realize, even though, physically, his grandma was alright, she wasn't at the best of her mental health anymore. The woman was nearly 80 years old and perhaps senile. There was no one here to care for her and she was barely getting by. But despite everything, she was kind to Arnold, showed him around and set him up in one of the bedrooms. If you need anything, just call me. You don't worry about me, Grandma. I'll be fine. I'm home. To say, the mansion had become a ghost house. Arnold was startled when he woke up, the first night, to the sound of singing from the hallway. What is she doing up at this time? Grandma had a hard time sleeping. At night, she would roam the halls of the mansion. Grandma, have you ever thought of keeping a caretaker around here? Caretaker for what? I've been doing fine all on my own. When was the last time you saw a doctor? Now what do you need a doctor for? I have a whole garden of herbs. You know what? I'll make you my special herb soup. It does miracles. How do you like it? It's nice. Trying to manage coping with Grandma and her cooking, Arnold began exploring the mansion and soon discovered his grandfather's study. Wow, this place is amazing. Path to the Witcher's Lair? I've never read this book. Arnold was more than intrigued to realize his grandfather had been writing another book before his demise. Though it was incomplete, Arnold began reading it. She was beautiful, her eyes, her smile, her silken hair, but she was an enchantress, a witch. Her true face was horrifying. Her heart was as black as coal. She desired wickedness and evil, so they cursed her. The biggest mistake they could make. It was just a dream. Arnold got up to return to his room. But laying in bed, his stomach rumbled. He hadn't eaten anything in the last few days. The market. Marianne's shop. Remembering Marianne, Arnold grabbed his jacket and headed to the market. You're still alive? What? Nothing. Welcome to my shop. And before you say anything, I didn't know he was your grandpa. Otherwise, I wouldn't have called him a creep. That's all right. But was he really a creep? I don't think so. But you know how the townspeople are, gossiping and making up stories. And your grandpa was a little bit eccentric. What's there for dinner? Already bored of your grandma's cooking? Kind of. How about we have dinner together? That evening, Arnold and Marianne had dinner together. And she insisted in walking him back to the mansion. You know, that wasn't really necessary. No, I wanted to. You're not familiar to this place. Your safety is my #1 priority. Why do you always bring me from this route? Isn't there a shorter route? It's because it's safer. And also because it's longer. Why don't you come in? Not in this lifetime. Gotta go. Again, Marianne began murmuring something as she hurried to leave. Days in small towns are very long, and nights even longer. Arnold had difficulty sleeping. And he didn't have much of a choice but to stay in his grandfather's study and read his books. A sudden gust of wind blew inside, throwing off the papers. he noticed a drawing on the last page of the draft. What is this? What is this? A map to the witch's lair? Something about it seemed familiar. It almost looked like a map of the mansion itself. Is there something in this mansion? Following the map, Arnold didn't know what he was expecting. But he walked down the hall to the east wing to find a door leading underground. What's here? Climbing down a flight of stairs, Arnold reached another door. As he opened it, a stench filled the air. He walked into a damp room. There were rotting herbs and vials hanging on the walls, trash scattered around, and a table with a journal. What is this place? They cursed me. So this is not just a story? It's a journal? Is this all true?
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.